Good morning. Welcome to the new normal class and welcome to my subject Fundamentals of ABM. Before we start our session for today, I would like to introduce myself. I am Arnold J. Banatanto, your instructor in this subject. In today's session, we will discuss about the introduction of accounting with the topics definition, nature or functions, and the history of accounting. And here are our specific learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, the learners will be able to define accounting and describe its nature, explain the functions of accounting in business, give examples of business transactions and decisions requiring the need for accounting, and narrate the history of the. Okay, class, I have a questions for you. Is accounting is important to you? And what is accounting? Accounting class is the process of identifying, recording, and communicating economic events of an organization to interest users. And accounting is also a process of recording financial transactions pertaining to a business. The accounting process includes summarizing, analyzing, and reporting these transactions to oversight agencies, regulators, and tax collection entities. And accounting is also a process of systematically recording, measuring, and communicating information about the financial transactions. At its highest level, accounting sets up the basics record keeping and the process of track financial accounts. And also accounting is a systematic recordations of the financial transactions of a business, such as recordations can be split into three activities. First, setting up system of record keeping, tracking transactions within the system of record keeping, and aggregating the resulting information into a set of financial reports. And now, we have the three highlighted words in the definitions of accounting. First is identifying, recording, and the communication. Now, accounting is a process of identifying. Identifying because this involves selecting economic events that are relevant to a particular business. Transactions. The economic event of an organization are referred as the transactions. For example, now, the economic event or transactions in a bakery business. Now, in the business, you should identify the sales of bread or the other bakery products and purchase the flour that we will use in for baking and purchase the trucks to deliver our products. And now, accounting is a process of recording. A process of recording because this involves keeping a chronological diary of events that are measured in peso. The diary referred to the definition of journal and ledgers, which will be discussed in the future chapters. Now, accounting is communicating. Is occurs through preparations of distributions and the financial and the other accounting reports. And now we have the nature of accounting. Accounting is a systematic recording financial transactions and representations of related informations uh, to appropriate persons. Accounting is a service activity, and accounting is a process, and accounting is both an art and a discipline, and accounting deals with the financial information and transactions, and accounting is an information system. And now, let's discuss accounting is a service activity. Accounting is a service activity because accounting provides assistance to decision makers by providing them financial reports with the guide them in coming up with the sounds of decision. Accounting is a process. Now, accounting is a process refers to the method of performing any specific jobs steps by step according to the objectives of the targets. Now, accounting is identified as a process as it performs the specific task of collecting, processing, and communicating financial information. In doing so, it follows some definite steps, like the collection, recording, classifications, and summarizations, finalizations, and reporting of the financial data. Now, accounting is both an art and discipline. Now, accounting is the art of recording, classifying, summarizing, and finalizing financial data. The word art refers to the way of something is performed. It is a behavioral knowledge involving a certain creativity and skills to help attain some specific objectives. Accounting is a systematic method consisting of definite techniques, and its proper applications requires skills and experience. So by nature, accounting is an art. Now, and because it follows certain standards and professional ethics, it is also a discipline. Accounting deals with financial informations and transactions. Now, accounting records financial transactions and data, classifies this as the finalizes their results for a given specified period of time, as need by their users at various stage from the start to finish. Accounting deals with the financial information and financial information only. Now, it does not deal with the non-monetary and non-financial aspects of such information. Now, accounting is an information system. Accounting is an information system is recognized and characterized as a storehouse of information. As a service of function, it collects, processes, and communicates financial information of any entity. Now, this discipline of knowledge has evolved to meet the need for financial information as requires to a various interested of groups. And now, why accounting is considered as a language of business. Accounting is the means by which business information is communicated to the business owners and the stakeholders. Now, the role of accounting in a business is provided by information for managers and owners is to use the operating and the business. Now, in addition, accounting is information allows the business owners to assess efficiency and effectiveness of their business operations. Prepared accounting reports can be prepared in the industry standards or the leading competitors to determine how the business is doing. Now, business owners may also use historical financial accounting statements to create their trends, analyzing and forecasting the futures. And we are the functions of the accounting in the business. Now, accounting helps the users of the financial reports to see true pictures of business in the financial terms. In order for a business survive, this is important that a business owner or a manager will be informed. And now, let us discuss the functions of accounting in a business. For example, Mr. San Juan is a retired government employee who is good in baking. One day, he decided to put a bakery in a shop in your barangay. He renovates a portion of his house to serve as the area of the productions of bread. He purchased baking equipment and raw materials to produce 5 different types of bread. Mr. San Juan also hires Jose to help him with the baking at the same time to be in charge of the sales. Mr. San Juan pays Jose on a weekly basis. Every day, Mr. San Juan wipes deposit the daily cash sales of their bank account at X and Y Savings Bank. Now, with the help of accounting, what possible decisions of me or questions of Mr. San Juan can be accounting provide to and to one answer? To an answer. And here are the possible answers. Now, is my business running? Or earning rather? Now, it is the profitability. Next, how much daily or a monthly sales do I need in order to recover my fixed cost? Okay, that was the break even. Now, do I need to hire additional workers to help with my production? How much daily or monthly sales do I need in order to recover my fixed cost? The break even again. Now, do I need to hire additional workers with my production? I can afford to set up new store in another place. Where do I get the fund? Or can I afford to pay my back-in loan? And now let's discuss the history of accounting. Accounting is as old as civilization itself. It has evolved in response to various social and economic needs of men. Accounting started as a simple recording or repetitive exchanges. The history of accounting is often seen as indistinguishable from the history of finance and businesses. We have the cradle of civilization. 14th century, the double entry bookkeeping, and the French Revolution in 1700s and the Industrial Revolution in 1760s to 1830. And now, the 19th century, the beginning of the modern accounting in Europe and America. And the present, we have the development of modern accounting standards and e-commerce. Now, let's discuss the cradle of civilization. Now, the cradle civilization is existed around in 3600 BCE. The record keeping was already common from Mesopotamia, China, and India to the Central and South America. The oldest evidence of these practices was the clay tablet of Mesopotamia, which dealt with the commercial transactions and the times such as listing of accounts receivable and accounts of payable. And now, the 14th century, the double entry bookkeeping. Now, the most important event of the accounting history is a general considered to be a dissemination of a double entry bookkeeping by Luca Piccoli, the father of accounting in 14th century in Italy. Now, Piccoli was much revered in this day and was a friend of the contemporary of Leonardo da Vinci. The Italian of the 14th century to 16th centuries are widely acknowledged as the fathers of the modern accounting and were the first to command used Arabic numerals rather than Roman. For tracking business accounts, Luca Piccoli wrote a Summa de Arithmetica, the first book published, that contained a detailed chapter on the double entry bookkeeping. And now, we have the French Revolution in 1700s. Now, the French Revolution in 1700s, the thorough study of accounting and the development of accounting theory began during this period. Now, social upheavals affecting the government, finance, laws, customs, and the business had greatly influenced by the development of accounting. And now, we have the Industrial Revolution in 1760s and 1830. It is the mass production of the great importance that fixed assets were given the attention of this period during this period. Now, we have the 19th century, the beginnings of the modern accounting in Europe and America. Now, the 19th century is the modern and the formal accounting profession emerged in Scotland in 1854 when Queen Victoria granted a royal charter to the Institute of Accountants in Glasgow, creating the professional of the chartered accountant or the CA. Now, in the late 1800s, chartered accountants from Scotland and Britain came to the US because they need to audit the British investment. Some of these accountants they stayed in US, setting up accounting practices and becoming the original of the several US accounting firms. The first national US accounting society was set up in 1887. Now, the American Association of the Public Accountant was the forerunner of the current American Industrial of the Certified Public Accountants, or the AICPA. Now, in this period, rapid changes in accounting practice and reports were made. Accounting standards to the observed accounting professionals were promulgated. Now, the notable practice such as the mergers, acquisitions, and the growth of the multinational corporations were developed. Business expanded by acquiring other companies. These types of transactions was challenged accounting professionals to do as standards which will address accounting issues related to the business of the combinations. Now, we have the present or the development of the modern accounting in the standards of the commerce. Now, the present accounting is the profession in the accounting in the 20th century developed around the state requirements of the financial statement audits. Now, beyond in the industry, self-regulations of the government also set accounting standards through the laws and agencies such as the Securities and Exchange Commissions, or the CEC. Now, as the economies worldwide continue to globalize, accounting regulatory bodies required accounting practitioners to observe international accounting standards. Now, this is to assure transparency and reliability and to obtain greater coincidence on accounting information used by the global investors. Now, nowadays, investors seek investment opportunities all over the world. Why? To remain competitive, business everywhere felt the need to operate globally. And the trend now of the accounting professional is to observe one single set of the global accounting standards in order to have a greater transparency and the comparability of the financial data across the borders. And that's the end of our class discussion for today. And now let's proceed to the activity. Now, each of the students will act out the definition of the accounting and the evolution of the history of accounting. Okay, class, choose only one history of accounting. Okay, and now, for some clarifications, please look at the GAITF site at https://www.gaitf.com e-learning, or you can call me at 0948-8477-93 for SMART or TNT, and 09269591-934 at the TM and Globe. And that's all for today's session. Thank you for listening. I hope you understand what we discussed in the previous slides. Thank you.